Yowamushi Pedal is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Wataru Watanabe. It is published by Akita Shoten and began its serialization in 2008's 12th issue of the Weekly Shōnen Champion magazine. As of August 8, 2014, there have been 35 compiled volumes published. An anime DVD was released bundled with the 29th volume, released on August 8, 2013. And anime television series adaptation began airing on October 7, 2013. Plot: Sakamaki Enoda is an otaku, an anime obsessive, who has just entered high school and plans to join the anime club. In middle school, Enoda did not have any friends with whom he could talk about anime, games, Akihabara and other otaku things, and is hoping he can make such friends in the anime club, but he finds out it has been disbanded. In order to re-establish the club, he tries to find 4 other people who would like to join. Since he was a little boy, Enoda has ridden his Maimachari a bulky bicycle with a step-through frame mainly used for short rides, such as for casual fun, to pick up groceries or to go to Akihabara every week to check out or buy otaku things. His fellow freshman, Shunsuke Maizumi, a cyclist, while training, notices Enoda riding his Maimachari up a steep road. Kiki Naruko visits Akihabara to get some Gundam plastic models for his younger brothers, and he meets Enoda, who caught his attention because of his cycling skill on the Maimachari, and later finds out they go to the same school. Later on, both Naruko and Maizumi try to convince him to join the bicycle racing club, but will he? Characters: Sohoku members. Sohoku is a hard-working team that acts as the main school in the story. Even when members face internal conflicts, they are all determined to win. Its team members want to improve in their own ways. Their training is often brutal, and may seem like survival of the fittest, but it dramatically boosts their skills. Some events they do are team traditions, such as the first-year welcome race and the 1,000 km training camp used to determine the inter-high members. Sakamaki Enoda, voiced by Daki Yamashita. Enoda is the protagonist of the series and a high school freshman. He is a member of the Sohoku High Bicycle Club and a climbing specialist. He is also evidently an anime otaku. He is quite shy and has a hard time speaking up for himself, but ever since meeting Shunsuke Maizumi, his courage has been growing and has stepped into the world of bicycles. Although he does not have a lot of stamina, he is capable of riding with extremely high cadences even when climbing uphill. He is a natural climber and a fast learner who was able to learn the dancing technique in a very short period of time. To help him in his climbing, the team captain Kinjo assigned Makishima to mentor him in climbing, who tells him to follow his own style when learning cycling. During the training camp, Kinjo switched his tires with an older pair to build his stamina and figure out how to use his gear shift. He also didn't tell him he gave him this handicap ostensibly in order to test him and see if he could figure out his bike on his own, though perhaps so that Makishima would feel compelled to enlighten him and bond with the fellow climber. In the inter-high competition, Enoda has shown amazing feats in order to help support his team, such as pass 100 cyclist after a crash and drafting Dokuro from the back of the pack to where their team is. Shunsuke Maizumi, voiced by Kasuke Toriumi. Maizumi is a high school freshman and a member of the Sohoku High Bicycle Club. He is an all-rounder and a logical thinker. His current dream is to become the fastest cyclist in the world. He has a fierce rivalry with Naruko, because of his sprinting abilities and his overall attitude, and sets his goal on Kinjo, who he currently sees as his biggest obstacle, as Kinjo uses this as his mentor to push Maizumi. He treats Enoda friendlier than his other teammates as he sees his potential, and wants to see where Enoda's cycling career takes him. In the training camp, Kinjo took away his gear shift so he would have to rely more on his physical abilities than his technical skills and understanding. Many of the mates of Maizumi join Enoda in watching anime and become a fan of Enoda's favorite anime Love Hime as well. Kiki Naruko, voiced by Jun Fukushima. Naruko is a high school freshman and a member of the Sohoku High Bicycle Club. He is a sprinter cyclist from Osaka. Naruko is seen most commonly with bright red hair, along with a biking outfit. He has sharp, red eyes. Not only that, he has a red, black and white jacket. He is also often seen in a tiger t-shirt. As a sprinter, he has a competitive nature, which he always gets upset when him and Amazumi are locked in a race and he sees that Amazumi beats him. He also gets this way with his mentor, Todokuro, who he often tries to beat in sprinting. On campus, Naruko has been akin to a brother figure to Uenoda ever since he saw Uenoda's skills improve as a cyclist. In the training camp, Kinjo replaced his handles with a standard horizontal bar to limit his sprinting. Shingo Kinjo, voiced by Hiroki Yasumoto, captain of the bicycle club, and always wearing sunglasses. Kinjo is a third year and an all-rounder, as well as the ace of Sahoku. While he appears to have a cold outlook on cycling, Kinjo always thinks of his team and their potential first. He always seeks to challenge his team in order to bring out their best. He especially wants to bring out Amazumi's potential and skill as his mentor. He especially pushes Amazumi to defeat him, knowing his competitive personality would motivate him more than he would himself. Yusuke Makishima, voiced by Shoutaro Morikubo, third-year student of Suoka High Bicycle Club. Makishima has long, green hair with red highlights. He has two moles on his face. One is under his left eye and the other is by his lower lip. Todo thinks that when Makishima smiles, it is creepy and scary. He is also known as the Peak Spider due to his unusual dancing technique on the bike. When Uenoda, who he is mentoring in climbing, tries to copy this, he tells him that following your own style is much more important than to imitate a style that is uncomfortable. Jinta Dokuro, voiced by Kentaro Ita, third-year student of the club. A rather large man with a hearty appetite. Despite his size, his is the Sahoku team's ace sprinter. He's affectionately called Old Man by Naruko, who he is mentoring. He had also mentored Teshima and Aoyagi after seeing how much they've had to struggle during their first year. Junta Teshima, voiced by Daisuke Kishio, second-year student of Suoka High Bicycle Club and an all-rounder. Teshima has black hair with perms and is an all-rounder cyclist. He is an outgoing, cheerful guy and he is good at blocking. Despite being talentless cyclist, he works extremely hard with fellow second-year Aoyagi to try to get to the inter-high race using their teamwork. In the training camp, he blew out his legs during the end of the third day in attempting to defeat Naruko, Amazumi and Uenoda and was unable to complete the 1,000 km requirement. Halima Yagi, voiced by Yoshisugu Matsuoka, second-year student of Suhoku High Bicycle Club and an all-rounder. Aoyagi has brown hair which drops down his left eye sometimes. A quiet individual who has a good fast pace. While he considers himself talentless, he works with Teshima and devises a plan to make it to the inter-high race together. In a sprint to defeat Naruko, Amazumi and Uenoda, he blew out his leg, forcing him to retire from completing the 1,000 km requirement in the training camp. Terufumi Sugimoto, voiced by Kaki Miyata, a first-year student of Suoka High Bicycle Club, Sugimoto has a heavily parted black hair and a self-assured smile. A self-proclaimed experienced cyclist of 3 years, often giving advice to the other first years, his actual skills on a bicycle compared to the others are questionable at best, though, as he doesn't seem to have the pure talent that Naruko and Amazumi have or the motivation to overcome challenges like Uenoda has. He does have a pretty nice and even pace as a cyclist though. He failed to complete the 1,000 km requirement of the training camp because he didn't want to cycle in the rain. Hakone members. Hakone Academy is a well-built team that claims to be made up of 6 aces, with many more in reserve. Hakone Academy's cycling club is the largest in the country. As a result, the team has an incredibly difficult selection process. All the club members race against each other for the honor of wearing the team's aken at the inter-high. Only the winners of each group go on to participate. The groups are often divided so they will take up to 3 all-arounders, up to 2 sprinters, and 2 climbers. Sangaku Monami, voiced by Tsubasa Ionaga, a first-year student of Hakone Academy Bicycle Club, Monami has dark blue hair colored with yellow highlights in the manga. He is mostly seen in his school uniform or biking outfit. He is an easygoing and laid-back Monami also has a habit of being late and easily distracted by mountains. As a climber, he pulls nature to his side by using the wind to surpass his competitors. Jinpachi Todo, voiced by Tetsuya Kakihara, third-year student of Hakone Academy Bicycle Club. He has dark violet hair, along with a headband. Todo's signature pose is pointing his finger at others. At his first meeting with Makishima, he was told that wearing a headband is ugly. He has a cheerful personality, but can also become serious when climbing the peak. He calls Makishima Maki-chan. Chuichi Fukitami, voiced by Tomoki Mino, third-year student at Hakone Academy Bicycle Club. He is the captain of the Hakone team. He has short, spiky blonde hair and very thick dark eyebrows. He usually wears a serious expression, earning him the Iron Mask nickname. He has sharp, dark eyes and a thin nose. He is the tallest member of his team. Hayato Shinkai, voiced by Satoshi Hino, third-year student at Hakone Academy Bicycle Club. He is the club's number 4 ace sprinter. His hair is a solid, reddish color in the anime and is reddish-brown with blue streaks in the manga. His heavily lidded eyes give him a generally relaxed look. His eyes along with his thick lips are his defining facial features. He is often depicted with a power bar in his mouth or striking his signature Baekhyun pose. Yasou Tomo Arakita, voiced by Hiroyuki Yoshino, third-year student at Hakone Academy Bicycle Club. Arakita used to be a baseball player with a bright future, but he was unable to continue down this path due to an elbow injury. Feeling jaded, he decided to go to Hakone Academy, a school without a baseball club. He was disappointed and angry at the world and ended up lashing out at Fukitami when they happened to meet. Fukitami introduced Arakita to the world of cycling, and after a rough start, Arakita found his passion. He became a skilled, though quite reckless, cyclist who works well with Fukitami. During the first inter-high, he worked as an assist to Fukitami. After graduating, he began attending Yonan University, where he joined the bicycle club along with Sahoku's Kinjo. Tuakuro Izumida, voiced by Atsushi Abe, second-year student at Hakone Academy Bicycle Club. He is the club's ace sprinter. He uses his abs to propel himself forward. His pecs are named Andy and Frank, and they react to dangerous situations as a warning reflex as demonstrated when Frank tensed up in reaction to the falling cones and Andy seemingly allowed him to brake a bit to narrowly avoid them. Izumida is known for his long eyelashes as well as his extremely toned body, which is the result of vigorous weight training in preparation for the inter-high. He sacrificed his performance in other road races to create the perfect body specifically for this competition. He begins the series with his head shaved. Yukinari Oda, voiced by Kenji Nojima, second year at Hakone Academy Bicycle Club. He is a climber. During his second year, he is challenged by Monami for the club's final spot for the inter-high roster. Kyoto Fushimi members, Kyoto Fushimi, or Kyofushi, acts as the third squad in the series and is the wild card of the group. The team was built mostly by all-arounders and has never been an exceptional team. Its training practices are never shown, but other teams say they were a lot nicer in previous years. Akira Midusuji, voiced by Kaji Yuza, first-year student at Kyoto Fushimi High School. He is the club's ace and is the only individual to have defeated Amazami. He is unusually tall and has exceptionally long limbs. He first appears with medium-length hair. He has large, dark eyes and uniquely square teeth. He likes to bare his perfectly straight teeth and call things gross. Midusuji has a somewhat sadistic personality, as he constantly attempts to cause others emotional distress in order to achieve his goals. He appears to particularly enjoy harassing Amazami, but anyone he races against becomes a target of his mind games. Kotaro Ishigaki, voiced by Hirofumi Nojima, third-year student at Kyoto Fushimi High School. He is the club's captain and was the original ace before Midusuji's arrival. Nobuyuki Mizuta, voiced by Chihiro Suzuki, second-year student at Kyoto Fushimi High School. He has light brown hair and dark blue eyes. He is recognizable from his braces. Nobuyuki is first seen when Midosuji sends him to Chiba to find out which school will represent Chiba at the inter-highs. Tomoya Iara, voiced by Yukitoshi Kikuchi, third-year student at Kyoto Fushimi High School. In previous years he has been known as being a sprinter. He questions if Midosuji's means are the best means for Kyoto Fushimi and gets beat up because of it. Yamaguchi, voiced by Yuta Odagaki, second-year student at Kyoto Fushimi High School. He is the only freckled individual in the series. He is often quiet and listens to instructions, but when he speaks it's surely to say yes to Midosuji's commands. Tsuji, voiced by Kazuhiro Tokuishi, third-year student at Kyoto Fushimi High School. He tries to step in and stop Midosuji from beating on Tomoya until Ishigaki stops him from doing so. Other characters: Taoji Kanzaki, voiced by Junichi Suwabe, older brother of Miki and the former captain of Sohoku's racing club. He was a sprinter. He runs his family's bicycle shop and helps support Sohoku by providing their emergency vehicle and emergency bikes. Miki Kanzaki, voiced by Aoya Kasuya, first year at Sohoku and the manager of the bicycle club. Given that her family owns and manages a bicycle shop, she has been exposed to the world of bicycles and road races since she was very young. She is very passionate about anything that has to do with the sport. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She has a slender frame and is of average height. Her straight hair reaches down to her waist, and she has bangs. She usually does not sport any hair accessories. She often wears Suoka High's uniform, which consists of a white blouse concealed within a buttoned-up green jacket, a white and red striped ribbon tied around her collar, red and yellow plaid skirt, and black socks paired with brown school loafers. Tachibana, voiced by Megumi-han, first year at Sohoku and Miki's best friend. She is a member of the tennis club and always questions Enoda on his bicycling skills. Mr. Pierre, voiced by Knya Horouchi, a staff member at Sohoku and coach of the bicycle club. He is first seen during the first-year race and later gives Enoda tips on how to gain additional endurance. Miyahara, voiced by China Kachihara, first year at Hakone and class president of Manami's class. She has a crush on him but doesn't understand why he is always cycling or road races in general. Kotori Himeno, voiced by Yokari Tamura, the main character of Enoda's favorite anime/manga series, Love Hime. Whenever he needs to find a cadence to go faster by, Enoda typically begins singing the opening song. Music: Kansueda uses electric guitar in his compositions. References. External links: Official anime website, Yowamushi Pedal at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia.